Here we go. Time for another sprint zone. This one's for 12/3/2024, and it is a huge group. And as always, I would like to thank Scott Pollia for his video and telemetry, along with Wolfgang this week, who's also shared his telemetry. Big group, as I said. And the colors are bright, so I felt no need to enhance the video here because it is indeed as beautiful as it looks. I didn't actually count how many people were in this posse today, but probably around 20-ish, which for December, this is good. Although the weather's really good, this is kind of weird. You know, when this ride was first started, like all of these roads out here were unimproved, and we'd be on mountain bikes, and there'd be two of us. And you can see how things have changed. Everyone going around the corner now, nice and slow and controlled, as per the rules of engagement. The melee may not begin until everyone is safely around the corner, and of course that is to prevent those from trying to gain advantage week after week before it turns into, well, a cluster. Anyway, having to move forward here, you can see people are just settled in there. And we have our first move off the front, and it is Steve, who I've nicely labeled here. And as I said before, if you never get labeled in any of these videos, you might be an NPC. But I digress. We got new guy Felix there in the pink there. That it looks like the Maya Rosa from the Giro. First time on this ride, and I think he is enjoying it. I believe I've ridden with him on the Soar at least once, and Strong Rider. Nice to see him come out. Not quite certain how he heard about the ride, but it's cool that he's here. In any case, Steve is off the front, and I am on the gravel bike once again, and my 30-second power above 300. I am working hard here, and it's like, what is going on? Hoping that someone would come to the front here and give me some respite. But no one has. There's Felix there. He's just chatting and everything with Wolfgang. Apparently not stressed by any of the tempo. And you've got everybody else just sitting in. And there are strong men back there sitting in, biding their time. Today I'm like, as I said, I'm on the gravel bike. And I have no intention of contending this one. It's kind of nice. And in the tradition of the ancient days, to take a bike that's slower, to work heavier, and to have the confidence that if I hit debris on the road, I'm probably not going to flat. So riding the Pathfinder Pros, 38s, which on a Specialized Diverge, a little bit of a heavy bike, but it handles well, and I'm confident on it. Rearward there, we see Mr. Kennedy, and we see Ian once again riding above his station. Not certain if he's boxing people in, not even certain why he is that far out and not really getting as much draft, although it is slight echelon right to left. And there goes Wolfgang, who, as you can see, I've also labeled not an NPC. And he is going hard there, and look at his wattage. It was above 400 and 30-second power, creasing over 400 watts as he is going up the road. And there goes Ron, also labeled not an NPC, and Danny on his wheels. It looks like the heads of state that are here today see Steve up the road as being dangerous, and with Wolfgang as an assistant, that can't happen. There's Elisa there, looking strong in the green, and it looks like we have 3 packs. Jonathan ahead of me on the red from the Rio squad, closing things here. And I was very happy to have Marcelo fill this gap for me because my 30-second power was above 330, and I couldn't do that forever. Finally settling in, getting a chance to coast back up to the front here. And I am happy to see that people up front, most of them anyhow, are looking to do some work. And I guess even if they're not looking to do work, they're kind of in front of me and they're pushing wind, and that makes it a little bit easier. Looks like Travis there behind me, looking good. And here I am, it looks right behind Marcelo with Elisa right on my left here. And she is in the best part of the draft at this part of the pace line. And I'm thinking to myself, I really want to be where she is. Because as I stated before, there's a little bit of wind coming off the right shoulder, and I am into it. and I need to save all the energy I can since I'm pushing this pig. Jamie looking strong in the red right in front of me. She too is pushing a little bit of wind. Looks like Ron Kennedy, a few riders up there in the yellow kit, pushing a little bit of wind. And that is helping me at least get a little bit of shelter. And that's welcome off of my shoulder there. And in the camera up ahead, it looks like Scott has gotten himself third position, and we see Steve. Actually, it's both Steves up front, and it is a battle royale up there, and it looks like those guys are working hard. But it is Grupo Compacto, and it is most impressive that a group this size has remained in contact with the strong men. This indeed is a testimony to the training that everyone has been doing, and all of the strength and tactics everyone has learned. Got Joel there in the purple, looking really good off to my right. And he is in the spot where he's taking up some wind from me, and that was most appreciative. And we're serious pack here now. Wheels overlapped and everything, and I'm hoping that everyone understands the difference between pack riding and cooperative pace lining. When you are in a pack, that is when it is most dangerous. And the rabbit in the road, looks like everybody avoided that nicely. And that everyone knows not to make any sudden moves. And there's no one in this group that is really unstable that makes sudden moves, and I am happy that that is in fact the case. Because if it was the case, I would have to adjust my position to not be behind the bowling pins, so to speak. Because it was on a ride many years ago, and there was a crash. Someone pulled off the wrong side and bowling balled the whole group. And it should be wisdom that when you are in the pack, you should just not be thinking about what wheel you're on, but like who is way up the road, who's a safe wheel, where you need to be positionally. And there goes a little bit of an acceleration on that little hill, and that is usually a selection point. But everyone is still there. I'm there on my gravel bike. Ilka was there on her gravel bike. So this is a testament to the strength of everybody and how a big pack can push a lot of wind. My 30-second power is still above 250, so it is still no walk in the park. Ian is still there. And it looks like there is Jim Almond from the breakaway squad. He is usually not that far back. Not certain why he is there. Or perhaps the days of skiing and big rides have taken his toll, and he is going to just enjoy the pull of the peloton. Oh, this might be the first look at JC back there grabbing a water bottle. And it is unlike him to be this far back. And tactically, in a race of equals, it might be game over if he would back that far. But JC is one of the supers and is unconcerned with anybody up the road. Elisa looking strong, and she is tactically really strong. And there are the two strongest women in the field now wearing the red and green, the Christmas colors of Elisa and Jamie there, and that is a pretty sight. Good cadence by both of them, shoulder to shoulder, perhaps wanting to win the Women's Cup to best each other. And they are tenacious, especially Jamie. Actually, both of them are. If I were doing one of the eco challenges, these are the two women that I would want on my team because they, in fact, do not give up and are not afraid of hard work. And everyone's working hard here. My 30-second power above 260 and increasing 280. My instantaneous watts over 600 watts there as I try to maintain contact and pull the specialized diverge into a position where I can maintain contact. Life is good, and you can see Scott just in front of me there after he was doing some work. And he has gotten so much stronger, has taken his training to the next level. And everyone should be warned, he is now an earnest Zwift user, following the training plans and the structured workouts. So next year, I believe even the TTH should have fear when he shows up. Okay, maybe that's a little too much, but he's definitely strong. And maybe he'll be able to give at least JC a run for his money, especially if JC is doing a lot of work. And you can see tactically, Scott has glued himself to JC's wheel. And that is a wise choice. That is probably the best wheel to be on if you want to make something happen. I can see the Miley Rosa up there of Felix looking very strong. And for a newcomer to the ride, fits right in. Clearly, he is a seasoned rider and has probably raced in his day. But that is just a guess. Everyone working hard up front. I can see Mr. Kennedy out there in the wind working hard. The heads of state pushing hard. One more little grade here, and this is when it is go time. And looking at the upper right hand, JC is going to try to drill down the break, and it looks like that was probably Wolfgang up there. Yeah, Wolfgang's power above 600 instantaneously, and he is ignominiously brought back. And of course, we had to label Mr. Kraft because he indeed is the man to beat here. Scott on his wheel, and there is daylight. There's daylight for Scott Polya, and his camera showing it looks like what is going to be a victory. Looking back at my camera rearward, everybody's together, and there's Jamie in the pink, and Jamie does not like to be on camera, so I'm going to talk about her. Doesn't like looking at herself, probably because, well, I don't know, a lot of people don't like looking at themselves or hearing their own voices. And going over the top looks like a win for Scott. Well done, well done. And a good time was had by all as I settle back in for my 29th place. And then goes Jim from the Breakaway Squad, representing nicely. Looks like there's a violation of the yellow line. Somebody up there in the red. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Everybody, tisk, tisk, tisk. But I'll keep hammering on the rules of engagement until those people do understand that it is for their safety. And I'm going to quote Top Gun once again. The rules exist here in the sprint zone for your safety. They are not flexible, nor am I. Very good. Anyway, wish I could see who that was in the red. I'd call them out because that's the only way we're going to prevent that. Oh, and for you people that are up there, if you see something, say something. Anyway, probably the biggest group I've ever seen at the turnaround. Probably the biggest pack before the final sprint. There was actually a sprint from the peloton. There was not a real selection there. It was a nice attack by Wolfgang, and it was brought back ignominiously by Scott. Well done. Until next time, peace.